So in Orchard 1 we should be ready to release, because I fixed the PR that we were waiting on. So I did a null check for the issue that was filed. So that's good. We see with vueElementId now to release. On the dev branch, nothing new. We talked about it last week. Orchard core. Fetch all. Lots of branches. And I will check this out. And let's see. So 7 days. Where is dev branch? On the left. I'm on dev branch, so I should be able to see what happened. Can I fetch and prune? No. Repository, remotes, prune. Okay, better. So what do we have? 7 days, 7 days, 7 days. Make sure vueElementId is unique on the page, so fixing the fact that we could have, so when we are using content picker field, we can have multiple of them on the same page. Fix that. It was about providing it a unique ID. Little csproj cleanup, so Jerry removed the things in the project that were not necessary. Editing while reading. This is doc updates, typos, grammar, things like this. Refactored CSS for active menu item on the first level. So this is fixing a glitch on the menu items, on some menu items with the icons that will be padded, not aligned. And I think Jasmine did a fix to the fix, or some improvement, or not. I don't know. Hide the HtmlBodyPart wysiwyg editor toolbar when the editor doesn't have focus. Okay, so I tried it, and it's breaking something else. So now if you try to go in, so I saw that, like the toolbar is disappearing somehow. And the issue is that if now you go in the HTML mode of your editor, then you can't go back from HTML mode because the toolbar is gone and doesn't want to come back. So Jasmine, Jasmine is here, yeah. Can you find an issue for that? That when you go in HTML mode, the toolbar for the wysiwyg editor doesn't show up anymore, so it's broken. So we have to fix that. Then these.
I'll take a look.
Thank you. Just find an issue so that I don't forget. I won't. Well, I could create it now, but I'm looking at all the issues, all the commits. This is, why is it still there? Oh, I might have a branch that keeps on that. Okay, so let's forget about it. Then if that's kind of sad that I see all these commits here. Jean-Thierry fixes caching with known value variation, so he fixed a bug in the cache. HttpMethodsProvider enhancements. Some new methods in JavaScript to manipulate the HTTP context properties like request, forms, queries. Request form method, query string as JSON method, request form as JSON, things like this. And he updated the README with the new methods. See, good. So then we have hide menu text when collapsing, left menu. We didn't merge it? We did. I did not delete the branch. So we have reverse proxy support, which is a new module from Agiz. Mathis. Can you pronounce your name, Mathis? So I don't make a mistake again. I'm sure you already said. Matthijs.
Matthijs.
So thank you. So new module from Matthijs that is to support reverse proxy when the HTTPS, the SSL termination is done on the reverse proxy and not on the Orchard instance, and so that all the headers which are forwarded are taken into account, and that Orchard knows that it's actually an HTTPS connection, even if it's not a direct one, but there is a reverse proxy in the middle that does that. I hope I'm right.
Totally correct.
And we talked about not making it a module because actually there were some issues with that being a module, but I don't remember, and we said it's still better as a module. You don't have to use it if you know how to write the code in your application, in your startup, you can use the code directly. The issue, I think, is that you have to enable the module only once everything is set up. But yeah, there's a module. And I didn't check that, but that's good. Perfect. Reverse proxy support. Migrate to OpenIddict to 0 RTM from Kevin. So now his libraries are RTM. So it's using it and updated with the changes. And this is just well, improvement on the previous fix to fix the navigation icon. Menu text when hide menu text when collapsing left menu. Add deployment plan and recipe support for media. This is an awesome feature. Is here? Is Himanshu here? It's not here. So this is more than what it was expected to be, but now it's merged, and the idea is that now there is a new deployment step where you can select media items. The preview selector is ugly, but it works. And the idea is that you can select folders or media items, and they will be added automatically to the deployment plan. And if you select a folder, even if you add new items later on, then they will also be included in the next deployments. And it's also improving how we manage those media copy from the recipes and also from the setup recipes. So let me show you. So now there is a new well, this is just a change. There is a new, that thing is new actually, the implementation is new. So before what it was doing, raw, you see it was like, okay, copy the raw content from this file, but what it's doing now, it's just extracting it's not trying to copy in memory the full content and decode it or whatever. Let me show you. Where is the recipe? Here. So before you had base64 property, so that thing would load this file in memory, convert it to base64 and put it in the JSON document. Now this property is actually streaming the file to the destination. So we are not copying it in memory anymore, so that's better. So it changed also the recipes to do that. So when we have media step, you say which media from the file system and where to in the media provider. Okay, so that's super useful. Good. And that's huge, because in Orchard 1, when we were doing some deployments or exports, there were no ways to export the media items. Now with just one checkbox, you can export your media item as part of a deployment package, a zip file, and then when you import it in another instance, you get all the media also. That's super nice. Fixing some concurrency issues from Jean-Thierry on Lucene. Fixing SQL profiling. I fixed mini profiler and also upgraded SQL. So now it works. If you enable mini profiler, you will see the SQL queries. Improve media layout. Yeah, merge this one. So Matthias made a huge set of changes in yeah, let me show you. Is it running? It's not running. So in the admin, content assets, this is the new UI. The plus here is to create a folder. Actually, Matthias, that's not obvious, because yesterday I wanted to create a folder. I'm like, I know the folders go there, but it's not obvious. Okay, I can click on that. I know what it does, and I clicked on the plus because I expected it to create a folder, but that works. Okay, you can create folders, and they are much nicer than before. Okay, kittens, puppies, plus to create a subfolder. Maybe we should have at least a tooltip. That will help at least. Delete nice icons, like it. Folder is empty, media library, puppies, media library, kittens. Beautiful, and as expected, everything still works. So if I take kittens here and I just select some of them, I can drop that. Puppies. Boom, beautiful. Delete one, delete two. Yeah, it works. And I think I tried last time, if I want to move that, I show you want to select media to this folder. Okay, and now it's there. Okay, it's beautiful. Works very well. Subfolders. That's good. Oh, there is a, yeah, this icon is not consistent with the other ones. That's okay. Yep. Maybe we should get rid of the assets also. Seems weird and takes a lot of space.
I made it smaller, but then it was not consistent with the rest of the modules.
I know, but takes a lot of space.
Yeah.
Maybe this page could be just a toolbar with that thing and the top folder, and that's it. Yeah, and maybe something else also will be to have this column have the scroll bar independent from this one, so that I can scroll the media items without losing where I am in the, but that's already improvement, so I'm just nitpicking. So yeah, it's good, beautiful. Thank you. You can continue your work on that. That's fine. It works. Whoa. Small list view. Beautiful. So that's the update on the media layout.
Sebastian?
Hey, Toby.
Yeah, wow, I rarely ask a question. You can dismiss this if it's out of context, but I've been battling with the media feature in version 1 around the issue of centralizing media storage on a CDN or content delivery network. We're trying to load balance our websites with Orchard, and I'm just curious if this is a requirement on your radar to make it possible for the location of media storage to not be underneath the orchard.web, or allowing it to be somewhere separate and apart?
Are you talking specifically for Orchard 1?
Well, that's where I live right now, but
yeah.
I'm thinking about my amazing future in the Orchard core.
So, but the answer is yes for both, actually, because you can already store the media somewhere else than under the media folder. So
just a matter of figuring out how, eh?
Or maybe I don't understand the question. Are you worried about the media subfolder that you have to have wherever it's stored, like even on a CDN? So for instance, if you use Azure Blob Storage, because you can, all the medias will be in the Azure Blob Storage. They don't have to be on the local folder.
I'm trying to figure out without using Azure, basically.
Okay.
We have our own network. We don't have our own media servers.
So like a shared folder in your network, that's what you have, or?
Yeah.
So you can already do that. There is a setting in the media module where you can define what's the location on a shared folder, on an accessible folder to store the media. So you can already do that in Orchard 1.
Okay, thanks. I don't want to take too much time for this. Thank you. I'll do some digging. Where would the setting be found? It's not in the dashboard, apparently.
I think it is, or maybe that's a specific feature, and special feature you have to enable to do that. But I'm almost sure there is that. You can define where you want your media to be saved. Yeah, try to look for that, and otherwise just ping me and I'll help you in finding that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Great to hear your voice. Thank you.
Bye. So that was the media layout. And by the way, this feature, we don't have it in... do we have it in Orchard Core? A way to change the folder of the media? I think we have. I know right now it's stored in the app data, and each tenant has its own app data folder, so that's fine. And I think there is an environment variable, so we can change at least the app data location, and maybe not just the media, but that will be doable. Okay. Then update the ASP.NET Security Primitive dependency reference. Okay, fix on the PR 562618, which is, yeah, so David Eden made a pull request to add Bootstrap because he could not make carousel working, but actually Bootstrap is already included in this JS file, but not everything from Bootstrap. So Jasmin made another change, which is here, to include the missing assets. Where was I? Here then, so we reverted the change from David because now we had Bootstrap in double. Fixes delete lucene index, so gently fixing lucene. Gently fixing an issue I had fixed in a different way which is the fact that you could not include a script, a custom script using the liquid tags. The issue was that the script tags were used either for a block or an inline tag, so we need a new tag name. So this is that now, script log, and now it will work. It's fixing the issue. Which issue is it fixing? Which issue is it fixing? It's fixing 2594, created by Jeff. Adding content item property to the menu shape. So Alex found an issue that when you add custom fields to the menu content item, you could not access these fields. You could actually from a menu item and not from the menu template itself. So the idea is that we just provide a content item as a property on the menu shape. I filed another related issue because this is not solving it correctly. The issue being the way we render a menu is with a hacky way by creating from the layout a custom shape, and the shape itself will load the content item. So the issue I created is to refactor that so we actually render a content item, which is the menu, and then it will use the standard way of rendering content items for the menu. So this should not break much, but this should be more orchardy to do that. So I merged that just to fix the issue that we can't access the fields from a menu. But the long-term solution is to replace it with a custom tag in the layout to render a content item in any display type and pass a custom alias for the menu. And that should be better. Then use Bootstrap-grid to extend instead of full Bootstrap SASS. This is the change from Jasmine I mentioned. And then this morning, I merged the GraphQL modules in dev, and it works. So lots of work from Nick, from James and myself in the past 2 weeks to make it work, and it's finalized and it's beautiful. Let me show you the improvements since last week. I think I enabled it here. I didn't, so let me enable the GraphQL module. So I'm on a dev branch. You just enable GraphQL. And because I'm an admin, it will work. Well, I will do that from the backend. So GraphQL Explorer. I haven't tried the parameters recently, but let's look at what we can do now. So I showed you most of it last week. I will make it simpler by just saying display text. And here what we have is now status accepts published, draft, latest, or all versions. So article by default if you don't provide. Let me show you that one by one. So article, if you just do that, it will query all the article content items. Okay, and by default the ones which are published. So if I just ask for published, you see this one is published. But I actually have two versions of articles. No, I don't, because I reinstalled it. So if I go there and on the about page, I save a draft. Now I have one published version and one draft. So if I go there and I run it, I still see only the published one, but now I can say status published, draft, latest, all. So give me all the draft, and I have one, okay, which is not published. And you can also look at latest. It's the latest, but it's not published, so it's a draft. And you can also say all, which will give you all the content item versions, okay, which can be useful to get the history from the client side. And in this case, what you want to see is the content item version ID, which will be different. This one and this one are different. However, the content item ID is the same. So this is the same content item, but different versions. Okay, so super useful. I will remove that. So status, you can still do first one. So let me show you status. Also, I have two items. First, I want the first item or the last. Oh, last data supported. That's okay. You can do skip. What do we have? We have the order by. And now James made the improvement that we can, again, order by the inner properties, but also any part unless I broke it. Did I break it? Interesting. Does it work? Oh no, I need to go further down. No. Oh, there is no auto route. I don't know. Did I break it? Maybe. Or that's not supported, but it should be supported. So if I go to the where, I can say display text. You can say contains, so there is only about pages, so this will work. Okay. You have lots of things with the underscore in a set of values, so you could say the display text is in, and it accepts an array then about and whatever. Okay, and this will work. If I say something else, this won't work because this is not part of the list of display text titles. And you can also access like auto route part, and in the auto route part you want the path to be about, and that works. And if I say about to, that doesn't work because the path of the auto route, so auto route part, see, there is nothing, but if I say that, this is all about. Okay, so that's nice. And something else we have now, a big change from last week also. So that is back last week that it didn't work, but we can also do logical expression. So where you can say, so by default, if you say multiple values like display text contains a, this will work. And then you say auto route part. So these are two predicates inside the where, and this will work with the and. Okay, if you make multiple predicates, this will be an and. But you could say I want an or of that thing. So all the predicates that you pass now will be with the logical or. That, and I need to close the where. Okay, so you could say something which is wrong, like F, but the other one is still true, so this will work. If I say and, it won't work, because none of them has a F in the display text and an about path. And you can obviously mix and match the logical expression, so you could say or, and something else. Okay, that will work. So now we support logical expressions also there, and let's see if I say here I have about, and I can, well, this is then the standard query name, so this will be like by name text. Not sure that's the syntax. Yes, that's what I meant. Okay, and then you can use the variable somewhere. Okay. And when you run, it still works. And if I change it to foo, it works. Okay, so you can also create GraphQL queries that will take parameters. So it's perfect. It works as expected. All the nice things that I showed last week still work, like expanding the media, the content items, still work. And that's fast. So everything is good. Questions? Yes, this is also new. James is online. Cool. Thank you, James. Everyone should thank James for his work, and Nick also. Better queries and through queries module. I mean, terms of something for queries module. You can do, I assume, everything is the same between queries in SQL and GraphQL. So the GraphQL queries use SQL. The SQL queries can do, I assume, exactly the same as GraphQL, but with the SQL queries, you can always do better with the SQL queries because you can do group bys, havings, aggregations, all the things you can do in SQL, you can't with GraphQL. You don't have IntelliSense in the SQL queries. And it might be faster with the SQL query because there is no GraphQL parsing and formatting. But from the client side, this is completely dynamic with GraphQL, whereas the SQL queries, they are completely static. I mean, you write them once and you just run them. GraphQL, you allow any client to run dynamic queries. However, the lucene queries have an advantage over the other ones, which is that they can query fields right now. And we don't have fields indexed in SQL right now. So this will be done very soon because I have a solution and it will work nicely. You see, thanks James, and thanks Nick also. And somewhere in params in SQL queries, that there might be an issue. It's called a bug, so we should fix it probably. I think, yeah, there is a bug that is fine for that. Yeah, so GraphQL, and I closed the issues that are related to GraphQL and content as a service because now it's in dev branch, so that works well. So I encourage everyone to use it and to give feedback or fix issues if you find issues. But yeah, pretty happy with the end result right now. Questions about that? Cool. Does anyone have other demos? I didn't ask today. Okay, show it. We have time. Let me make you presenter.
Okay, so it's a prepared demo, but okay. The object of ReCaptcha is to make your site a bit more protected against flooding attacks by using ReCaptcha. So I'll set up a new site. So they will be available as modules, as features for each item you can harness against flooding attacks or other things. So instead of disabling the user account, you can just activate a CAPTCHA. Let's see. Reset password, enable, and then you have some ReCaptcha features here. So this is core functionality on user login. So when you log in too many times, like I put it on 6 right now. Oh wait, you first have to reconfigure ReCaptcha, sorry. You need to enter. Need to enter your secrets. These are just developer keys you can use. Then it will always show, and it will show up like this. It will. Then it will say testing purposes. If you want, you can get your own client key and client secret. Is restart.
Why do you need to restart for the options?
I don't know. Maybe we should have a look and fix that. I don't think it's really necessary. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if somebody is trying to hack your system, it will then show the CAPTCHA, and it will fail the CAPTCHA.
So is this, I understand the password failure. So you hit 6 times the wrong login. Now, is this 6 times the identity options?
6 times the identity options, what do you mean? That it hits the database?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if it's, yeah, so the account is locked now.
No. We don't lock accounts anymore, but we show the CAPTCHA so that they have to say, I'm not a robot.
Okay, so your feature removes the account locking?
Yes, because there was an issue that says, and you commented, no, we will not lock accounts because otherwise we will just have people flooding your account and locking you out. Mm-hmm. So the alternative would be then to detect multiple logins and then show a CAPTCHA, so that you're sure that you're not a robot trying to hack my account.
Interesting.
And there is also one for registering accounts, because they can flood your site with bogus accounts.
And this one we don't have to wait 6 times, right?
No, it's no, it's automatic. So settings, registration, and also reset password. Let's see, did I activate them all? So on registering a new account, enable the CAPTCHA. So when you say login and say register new user, then it says, hey, you need to confirm this CAPTCHA. So this way you're protected against flooding attacks from password, also flooding attacks from registration accounts. And I think I was working on the one for the reset password that they can't lock you out that way.
Good idea.
So this is basically it.
And on the login you did that. Yeah, okay, that's good. Yeah, so it's a long, it's an old PR that you made. And,
yeah, it's been there for quite some time.
Yeah, I need to process them. The only issue I had at that point, if I remember correctly, was the way.
Yeah, the shapes. Yeah.
How it's the configuration, the customizability of the login page. And pages, so we have to look at how it's extensible, and I know that it was also related to another PR that maybe the Facebook PR is also related to that. That's why on the Facebook PR I pointed you to I
looked at it, but I didn't see any
no conflict. But think about it: Facebook authentication will change the login page. Your PR changes the login page, and I don't know how they do that. I don't remember.
Oh no! If you
but if we want to change the way we extend the login page, both
no. If you make the Facebook, it will show up here as a button.
Yeah, and I'm wondering what should
that's already in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Because if you activate like OpenIddict client, with another authentication.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. We look at all the authentication providers and we render a button on the right. And
yeah, so it has no. Oh, sorry, login. It has no impact.
Okay.
So Facebook just adds another property here. Oh, sorry, a button here.
Okay, so yeah, I will look at it. So the two are related. And
so I had a look, but yeah, okay, but I had a look. I don't see any overlap.
Okay.
As far as
yeah, but these are good features. I'm not opposed to that. I just want to review and to be sure we do the right thing to optimize that. And I know sometimes doing the right thing is slowing everyone down. And
it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I did it like this. We talked about it, and you said just create an anonymous shape.
Oh, so you changed the. Okay, I see.
No. So here you can say in the ReCaptcha module. It's been a month, so bear with me. I just hook into. I think I hooked into it like with a shape.
It's a shape provider. It has to be a shape provider.
Did I do it in core?
That's good. No, that's good. Here, describe ReCaptcha. So this class could be removed because you're doing nothing.
Yeah. See here, I insert a new shape. So if the shape factory events fires and says the shape type is after forgot password, I inject the ReCaptcha.
And by doing that, so layout equals okay. That's okay. Okay, so layout. Yeah, that's the naming of the variable is super bad because now I could think it's the layout, but it's not the layout. It's the after forgot password shape. It's not nothing.
Yeah.
And then you just add a sub shape inside it. And can you show me the after forgot password shape?
No, it inserts the
template.
No.
There must be a default template for after forgot password. So if you do control comma and you look for after forgot password, control comma.
Yeah. Where here?
Yeah, search for that. Well, do control comma.
After password, you want to search for this?
Yes. Where is that? There must be a file. You see, there must be a CSHTML file.
A CSHTML file.
Or a liquid file. It must exist.
For the I don't get it. You just do the.
Okay, I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, I made a shape with ReCaptcha, and that has ReCaptcha.
So you created a shape without a template. So you have a HtmlBodyPart that provides a shape without a template. Okay.
Yeah.
That works.
And in the core there is I think it's a tag helper that renders a div with the script in it.
Okay, good.
So I think this is what you mean, right? The HTML where it's generated.
Yeah, not this one, but yeah, that's fine. This one is fine too.
Yeah, it's set up in such a way that you can also use it without the module. So you have here a core project in which there are services where you can.
So there's a tag helper also. Okay, good.
Yeah, there's also you can extend these. These are just now on IP address, so it detects the request and then it counts the numbers of failed requests and then adds. It checks for the validate error on post of the model state, and then it adds it to a list, and then it shows after 6 times. It says, hey, if the mode is prevent abuse of your ReCaptcha mode, then it shows the ReCaptcha. But have a look.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Looks good. Other questions?
Don't see it.
Is there a form element you can add in the forms module? I mean.
No, it's not compatible with the forms module yet. The forms module, I think it has its own no captcha. I think so.
That would be weird.
Yeah, no CAPTCHA part, yeah.
We should have the same settings at least.
Yeah, but this, I don't think this is globally. It's each time you add a no CAPTCHA part, you're asked to enter side key.
That's bad. That's why I'm saying we should use the same settings.
Yeah, we should integrate these.
So
two, yeah.
we could remove that one and copy it into your module. So the module comes also with a form element.
Yeah, that's fine. But then...
Yeah, don't worry. We'll do a reference. It doesn't need a relationship because a form element is just a widget. So you just need to register a widget. That's it. It doesn't have to be anything to do with forms. It just will be a widget with a custom stereotype, and then it will be picked up by the form module.
Yeah, but it's a content part, right?
Whatever. You in your ReCaptcha, you will have a reference to the content management abstraction for a specific feature if necessary. That's fine. We will help on your PR. That will be super useful because ReCaptcha is not just for logins. It's super useful, but if you can also have it for forms, then everything is done. I mean, you can. That would be
but
great.
It's also for SASS implementations. You can use the attribute on your controller and say, hey, I want this method to be protected by abuse, and then we can add all kinds of let's say form elements. You want to check if somebody did like 5 posts for something, for a specific form element, and he's abusing your site, and then you can say, hey, show a CAPTCHA to stop the attack.
Yeah, it's a more global issue.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I think that's yes, I wanted to say something. I had an idea. Let me see. What did I want to talk about? Crap, I didn't write it down on the OneNote, and now I forget. What was that? A suggestion. Give me 1 minute, it will come back. Yes, I remember. So I saw someone asking for a .NET Orchard CLI, like we have in Orchard 1, to be able to set up a site or to do something from the command line. And I was about to suggest to use the REST APIs we have, because the issue with the Orchard 1 .NET CLI is that the Orchard 1 CLI, the command line argument thing, is that when you use the command line Orchard 1, it's actually starting a new site, loading all the tenants, and doing something with the inner tenants, which are in proc of the CLI. And it won't be reflected on the live instance. So what we need to do is to do actions on the live instance. So we can even do that remotely. And so the REST APIs for that are super nice. I think what we should do is a .NET global tool that will expose commands using the REST APIs. This way you can install it anywhere we have the .NET SDK, and it will communicate, it will provide command line scriptability of Orchard, and still be able to target a running instance. So I think we should try to do something like this. The .NET Global tool. I will find an issue that will and we will leverage the REST APIs this way. That will be great. I know I'm not sharing.
You're not sharing your desktop right now.
I know I have nothing to show. I just wanted to mention that. So yeah, that's the only thing I wanted to mention. I will share just for you. Yep, that's it. Just an idea. If someone wants to work on it, has nothing to do. If GraphQL is done and James, you have nothing to do and you want IDs, that's an ID. Or if anyone else wants to work on that, just giving IDs. Toby, you need to migrate to Orchard Core. Super fast. Lots of great features.
Will do.
Ask Sipke. And yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, that's now, or see you on Thursday. Let's see. More headless feature will be next. Headless feature. Everything is there. What do you need more? beautiful. It's beautiful. I have an idea. I have webhooks. We already have all the webhooks. What? Tell me. What is the webhooks you want? What else? We have workflows which support all the webhooks you could love, or specific webhooks. Like it's a generic webhooks module we have, but we could also have specialized webhooks. Oh yes, you showed it to us, right? At some point. Is that you? Yeah. I remember. Yeah, I think that was you. Is that you who made the webhooks module that would appear as a first class in the left menu? It was well polished, also. I remember. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean. Okay, we can talk. And I was about to say something. Yeah, webhooks. So as a reminder, we already support all the webhooks you want with the forms module. Okay. What James had done was a better user experience by exposing them as a first-class thing and not saying, "Oh, go into workflow and create a webhook." He will say, "Create a webhook." That was the thing he did. Even Michael is here. Oh my God, we have all the people who wants their PRs merged. Hey, were you there before? I didn't see you. Okay. Yes. What was I saying? I think that's it. Yeah. Okay. Webhooks. Good. Done. If you have any questions, you want to talk, we are on Gitter. You can ping me on Skype. So see you on Thursday for the triage or next week. Thanks everyone. Bye bye.
Bye bye.